Doesn't it just feel weird to go places without a mask now? Don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying it, but I don't know, it feels a little naughty. All of us are readjusting back to normal life. I know you might be watching this video in a completely different country, but I'm in California right now and things are pretty much open. Most people, the majority of the population here is vaccinated. The cases are going way, way down. So for the most part, we're back in normal life, but it's not so normal still. As we're readjusting to it, I think what I'm feeling and what a lot of people are feeling is there kind of is no going back. Things have changed, not quite sure how that is exactly, but I think we can really leverage this and really use this to our advantage to be happier in this post-pandemic world. Now, before I go further into this, if you find yourself liking this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please click that subscribe button and the bell so you'll be notified when I put new videos out. And also, if you're a little impatient, I do give away something for free in every one of my videos. So if you check the description right here down below, you will find out what that is. And I will talk more about that towards the end of the video. The first thing is that you're here and you're okay. And when I say okay, I know that people have had some heavy losses during this pandemic. I'm not here to compare myself to anyone else. I had my own losses. Some people had more than me. Some people had less than me. So, you know, the thing is we're here, right? We're here, we're living, we're breathing. Most of us are healthy. And so that is something. You have survived a once in 100 years pandemic. So what does that mean? Well, there's a huge opportunity here for gratitude. Gratitude is so powerful, and I'm sure I'm not the first person you've heard this from, but maybe what you're hearing now is a good reminder to think about this and to think that, yeah, we spent the last year and a half having to deal with this thing that, you know, most people weren't alive for the last one to recall it. So this was new territory for everyone, but we got through it and we're getting through it. There's still some more to go. Allow in that gratitude for that. Allow in, you know, you could look at this in two different ways, right? You could look at this as being, you could be angry and bitter that it even happened. You could be angry and bitter if you lost someone, or if you lost your job, or if you lost your apartment. And you know, that's a hard thing to deal with. However, we can say, I'm still here. I didn't die of COVID, and there's still life, and there's still wonderful things that are coming as this whole thing, as we get beyond this whole thing. So allow in that gratitude, however much it is. And like I said, I know it might have been much harder on you than it was on me, but there's still something to be grateful here. If you're still alive, if you're still able-bodied, and you can go out there and you can, you know, choose a new career or go back to the career that you had, you can put this all back together again. So start with gratitude. Gratitude is so amazing. I remember when I first learned the self-concept model from my teacher, Steve Andreas, and which has now become my life's work and the basis of all my coaching and a large chunk of the teaching that I do. The first quality that I worked on was the quality of gratitude. I felt like I was grateful sometimes and sometimes not grateful. So I didn't feel like I was a grateful person, but I certainly did gratitude about 50% of the time. And that was the first quality that I transformed. And I just remembered how different I felt when I transformed that quality, and how powerful that was. It brought tears to my eyes. I was just so grateful for even the smallest things in my life. And that just propelled me forward. At the time, it was one of those low moments in my life when a lot of things were falling apart. And suddenly I had this amazing sense of not just feeling gratitude, but being a grateful person at the identity level. And when that happened, it just opened up so much in my life. So take this opportunity to feel grateful that you made it. And you know, I know in your country, wherever you are, you might not quite be where we are in California, but you'll get there. There's light at the end of the tunnel, and just be grateful for where you are now. The second thing to consider here is that you're stronger. Every time we overcome a challenge, every time we get beyond something that an obstacle, something that was in our way, especially things that we have no control over. You are a stronger person now than you were 2 years ago. 2 years ago, you had never experienced anything like this. Just the fear alone of when this thing was all starting to happen and everything seemed to be falling apart and the world seemed to be turning upside down, just dealing with that fear and working through it, that made you stronger. And then I'm sure you had some real obstacles in your life as a result of the pandemic, and you got through them, and that has made you stronger. And you might still be dealing with some of those obstacles. And just know that when you overcome them, and you will, you are going to be even stronger for that as well. And so you can even cycle or circle back to gratitude, and gratitude for that additional strength, gratitude that you overcame some of these obstacles, and the gratitude to know that you have the strength to get through whatever is coming your way now. And if you can get through this pandemic, that makes you that much stronger to overcome the future obstacles. And there always will be. There will always be those curveballs. Hopefully not another pandemic, but there will always be those things. And so every time you overcome one, you become stronger and stronger. You become better able to deal with the next one. And that brings us to the next thing, is adaptability. Because you have adapted, and maybe you haven't given yourself enough credit for the adapting that you have done. We have all had to adapt. We had to adapt to wearing masks, adapt to not being able to go out in public and do the things that we normally do. Somehow we had to find social connections because that's super important for our mental health. You had to find ways to get your needs met during a time that was just crazy and was unprecedented. So you have become more adaptable, and that is the major quality, that is the major resource that makes us survive, that has made us survive as a species. That when you look at any group or any situation, the person in that group or that situation who is the most adaptable has the most influence over the situation. That is actually an NLP presupposition. So adaptability, when it comes to succeeding, when it comes to living a happy life, your ability to adapt will determine how well adjusted you become, how happy you become, how successful you become. And so a big part of adapting is just accepting the things that you can't change, and then taking action on the things that you can change. A big part of it is just being okay with that, being okay with, like, yeah, there were some things that we had to adapt to that didn't feel good at all. But we can let that go. Just, let the bitterness go, let the anger go, and just realize, yeah, you have adapted. You are different than you were 2 years ago, because you've been able to adapt to this change. And again, that makes you stronger, and then you can also be grateful for that. And last but not least, this is an opportunity for everyone to sort of hit that reset button. Doesn't mean that you need to change careers or go back to school. Those are some possibilities for sure. But when you have an interruption in life like this one, and it's probably the only time in your lifetime where the entire world was interrupted all at the same time. This is an opportunity to hit that reset button in any way that you can think that would be useful to you. It's that time to hit the reset button for who you are, what you want out of life, the career, your schooling, starting a family, or whatever it is. Think about that. Like, you had this interruption. How can you leverage this interruption to hit reset and say, okay, now is a good time, because it's never a good time to change your life, right? It's never a good time to start all over, but we all had to start all over to a certain extent. So hit that reset button. Who do you want to be? And what do you want out of life? And how are you going to create that? Think about that, and think about, yeah, might be your only opportunity to hit that reset button in this way, where sort of everyone is having to do that. Now, the people who are have resisted this whole thing every step of the way, probably aren't feeling that. They're probably not feeling like they adapted very well. They're probably not feeling a bunch of gratitude. They're probably not feeling very strong. So stop resisting resistance. Let the resistance go. Be more grateful. Know that you are stronger. Know that you are more adaptable. And hit that reset button and see where life takes you. As I mentioned, I am giving something away for free. In the description right here down below, there will be a link. You click that link and you can take this free assessment where some questions that will help you focus and get clear about what it is you want to do in your life. Where do you want to focus your attention, and where in your life do you want to improve, and how to go about, how to take those first steps to improving. And so this is perfect for any of you who are interested in hitting that reset button. You want a little bit of help to go with that. This is the assessment for you. It is free, so check it out right here in the description, right here down below. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell so you'll be notified when I put new videos out. And last but not least, if you can think of a friend or a family member who would benefit from watching this video, make sure you share it with them. Take care.